Hello everyone, back tuning into the first update for the summer of 2016. So we're going to get 8 long-range season models together for this first update to see what they're showing for the summer for the next season coming up. We're short of a few models for this first update, so we're going to be short of the JMA. That doesn't reach the time frame, neither does the Russian model. Also short of the APEC this month, because that doesn't reach the right time frame either. So we are a bit short on models for this one, but we've got 8 of them, so plenty to be going on with. We've done a couple of updates previous to this, written updates mainly, just exploring La Nina and the impacts that could have if we move from El Nino to La Nina during the summer. Generally, it's a bad sign for summer if you're having a quick transition from El Nino to La Nina during the summer. It's still to be determined what's going on. In fact, did the El Nino update yesterday. Haven't seen it. Check it out on the ENSO page. So it's still to be determined really what's going on with this transition from El Nino to La Nina, whether we'll get the transition or not. This video will just be looking at the models, but once we come to do the forecast in May for the summer, we will know a bit more about whether we're going to transition from El Nino to La Nina, or whether we are not going to transition from El Nino to La Nina. So I'll get on with the update in a second, but before I get on with that, just to say about the ads, there's links to articles on all of the pages. Have a browse through widgets and click through the links if there's any articles that you're interested in. Thanks very much for doing that. There's video ads on most of the pages. I may open up the content when you watch them. They'll close back up again. It does help to pay for gavsweathervids.com. And this allows us to stay free of charge, essentially. So we don't have to worry about subscriptions. We don't have to worry about pay-per-view or anything like that. Because you engage with the ads, we get the revenue fee that pays the website, allows me to have the website. So it's a means to an end, essentially, the advertise. But it is an important point that the more you can engage with those ads, the more revenue we can generate. We don't have to worry about subscriptions, pay-per-view, anything like that. We can keep gavsweathervids.com. This has always been my aim, still my aim as well. Keep gavsweathervids.com free for you to be able to see all of the updates whenever you want to see them. So thanks so much for helping to support the website. And to thank you all for helping to support the website, of course, we've got the competition. Today is the end of the competition that we've been running with metcheck.co.uk, weather instrumentation. Today is going to be the end of the competition. We'll be closing it at 5 o'clock tonight. So it really has been a fantastic and overwhelming response to the competition once again this year. Let's just have a quick look, shall we, at the prize we're giving away before I get on with the summer update. So we're giving away this lovely digital thermometer. As I say, we're teamed up with metcheck.co.uk weather instrumentation. That's the prize we're giving away. It's worth £22.50. All you have to do, you've still got time to enter. Actually, you're still until 5 o'clock this evening, so you've got a few hours left to enter. All you have to do is email your name and postal address to gavsweathervids@gmail.com with subject title prize draw. By doing that, you get entered into the prize draw, and we'll close the prize draw at 5 o'clock, so no more entries after 5 o'clock today. At 7 o'clock, there'll be a video and an announcement. If you can't watch the video, it'll be written on this page. There'll be somebody will be winning this prize. So somebody's going to get drawn out of the bag in the video at random, and that person will be winning this £25.50 digital thermometer. But you've got to be in it to win it. So you haven't entered yet. Still got a few hours to do that. And thanks to everybody that has entered the competition, and good luck. I'll keep your fingers crossed that all of you to win this prize. Right, let's get on with the first summer update. But as I say, we're short of a few models for this month. They'll be coming on stream next month, but I think we've got enough to be going on with anyway. So we're going to start off with the long-range Brazilian model. And these are 500 millibar height anomalies. Always a bit different with this one. I think they tried to catch us out because blue was extrapolating to high pressure and red, yellow, orange, extrapolating to low pressure. And on any other 500 millibar height, normally it would be the other way around. So what we see with this one is that we've got for the May, June, July period, which doesn't quite cover the summer, but it's May, June, July. We've got an anomalous area of above average heights to the north of the country in that sort of zone. And but also I've got a bit of a southerly tracking jet stream going on here, actually, with these lower heights. They aren't necessarily below average heights, but they're lower than further north. So I think probably got the jet stream on more of a southerly track with this one going into that sort of zone. It's not necessarily a washout of the summer, but it's a bit odd what's going on there, because the heights aren't actually low, it's what I mean, they're just lower to the south and higher to the north. Bit of a strange one. If you have a look at the temperature anomaly, so this is how temperature's looking for May through to July, and generally we're coming out a little bit above average, so milder than average month being predicted there. In terms of the precipitation, that also is coming out near normal. So it's pretty hard to decipher quite what the Brazilian model is seeing there for the period from May, June and July. The height on is very odd, and the temperatures of precipitation are just close to average, so really quite hard to work that one out. The rest of the charts that we look at are going to cover the full summer period. We're going to look at CANSIPS next. Of course, we've already done the CANSIPS update for this month, but I'll just quickly recap on what it's showing. These aren't anomalies for 3 months, these are 1 monthly anomalies. So we're starting June, go through to July, and then go through to August as well. So June is looking quite a mixed month, really, with low pressure generally centred to the north, a jet stream going through the country rather like that as we go through into July. This one is also looking quite mixed, with the low pressure to the north and the jet stream probably doing something like that and through into August. Again, it's looking quite mixed. So the CANSIPS model is going for a fairly mixed summer of it, actually, with we've just got to change the colour there, with the game with low pressure doing something like that. Jet stream coming through the country is not a great signal from the CANSIPS model for this summer. The temperature anomaly for June, that's coming out generally about average as we go through to July. That also looks about average in July, certainly nothing particularly to get excited about. August does look a little bit warmer though. August goes closer to average. In terms of the precipitation for June, that's looking about average, a bit above average up in the north. Let's have a look at July. That is also looking a bit wetter than average in the north, a little bit drier in the south. And have a look at August. That one looks like the wettest month. So despite the temperatures being at their warmest in August, actually many parts of the country coming out with average to below average rainfall there. Not a great summer being predicted by CANSIPS. Having a look at Hugh Vanderdoel, our good friend of Hugh. Now, these are always a little bit different. It's not a computer-generated model. This is analog-based forecasting. So what Hugh does is he takes the sea surface temperature anomalies from across the world in any given month, and this was generated in February, has a look at all those sea surface temperature anomalies, compares them to past years with similar sea surface temperature anomalies, and then creates a forecast, an analog-based forecast going forwards. This one looks a bit odd as well. Not sure quite what's going on here. These are 500 millibar heights, and it's all a bit flabby, really. I think there's probably some sort of low pressure here, but I'm not quite sure what Hugh is doing, to be honest. There's a bit of a reach down towards Spain, I think. And as for the UK, it really is very hard to decipher what's going on, so I think we'll ignore that. And let's have a look at the temperature scene, and that's coming out warmer than average. I really am very puzzled by a lot of these models this month, I have to say. I really am struggling with them. I've been through them as I'm preparing this video, and I really am struggling with what some of them are showing. This one included. But the temperature signal is okay. That is a strong signal, be warmer than average this summer. And then in terms of rainfall, Hugh Vanderdoel is seeing a bit wetter than average. So warm and wet, really, the signal from Hugh for the summer. Next model is NASA. This is the experimental model from NASA. Again, 500 millibar heights for June, July, and August. This looks quite nice, actually. We've got an anomalous ridge here building up from the Azores high and centering over towards Scandinavia as well. The jet stream is being pushed further north as well. If you want a decent summer, this one looks pretty good. Let's have a look at the temperature anomalies. They're coming out warmer than average. Look at that, very warm summer being signalled there from NASA. Precipitation, that's coming out about average. I think on the anomaly we would probably expect a little bit drier than average as well, because as I say, the jet stream is being shoved off a little bit in that sort of a direction to the north of the country, allowing this ridge to build through the UK and into Central Europe as well. So I think that's pretty good. That's the best one we've seen so far. Certainly in terms of temperatures, it's warmer than average. The pattern that's delivering that warmer than average summer would also be pretty dry as well, I would have thought. Very nice summer coming up with that one. CFS V2, however, doesn't look as good. We've got a trough of low pressure around Iceland, and then we've got this ridge through the central part of the Atlantic, and we're more or less moving the jet stream through the country in that sort of direction. So it's a very westerly summer being signalled there. The temperature anomaly then for the summer is coming out a bit cooler than average. This is the first one we've had that's showing cooler than average temperature anomalies this summer, and CFS V2 is signalling that cooler than average temperature anomaly. The reason being that jet stream is coming right through the country in that sort of direction. By the way, I'm not sure why the highlighter is fading once I've drew it, so it's I'm not sure if you can work this out all that well, but when I do the arrow, the highlighter sort of fades when I let the cursor go. I'm not sure why it's doing that. I've been having to play around with it, trying to fix this, but I've not been able to just yet. So apologies for that if it's affecting your viewing pleasure. The precipitation anomaly from CFS V2 for June, July and August shows wetter than average for Scandinavia and Scotland, but England and Ireland, or Wales and Ireland anyway, indicated to be a little bit drier than average. Generally, it's a mixed westerly summer being signalled there from the CFS V2 though. And also also mixed, I should say, is the Beijing Climate Centre. This is a 500 millibar height anomaly for June, July and August of the summer. It's placing a trough of low pressure to the north of the country and particularly centering over Scandinavia, ridge down to the southwest, and this means that the jet stream is doing something a little bit like that. So we're probably on the cool side of the jet there, and it is an unsettled summer being signalled as well. So in terms of the temperature, we're coming out colder than average here for this summer. The temperature anomaly in those blue colours there, and most of Europe, interestingly, seem to have quite a cool summer as well with the CFS V2. So this is probably the coolest model that we've had so far. In terms of the temperature anomaly, with cooler than average temperatures being signalled for many parts of Europe, not just the British Isles. And in terms of the precipitation, that's not very good either. That's coming out a bit above average. So a cool wet summer being signalled from the BCC. It's not greatly supported by the other models that we've been looking at, that we can't discount it, of course, at this stage. It's very early days with this update, but a cool wet summer is the signal from the Beijing Climate Centre. Jamstec IOD next, and this one is showing temperature anomalies to be a little bit above average for England and Wales and closer to normal for Scotland. The temperature precipitation anomaly, I should say, shows a bit of a north-south split. So in the north it's drier than average, in the south actually hinting at being a little bit wetter than average. Not quite sure what's going on there. Maybe some sort of southerly tracking jet stream. But again, it all looks rather odd from Jamstec. And then finally, our very own UK Met Office. This is the mean sea level pressure anomaly for the summer from the UK Met. This one's not very good. The green colours here indicating below average pressure around the UK. So pretty poor summer being signalled there from the UK Met. Let's just have a look at the temperature anomalies, and I'll just close in a little bit more, I think, on this one. There you go, that makes it a little bit easier to see. And the temperature anomaly for the summer is coming out quite significantly cooler than average, a cooler than average summer being seen there from the UK Met. Rainfall, you'll not be surprised though, but rainfall is hinted to be above average. It's hinted to be quite a wet summer here. With the UK Met Office. So the Beijing Climate Centre and the UK Met are in agreement really to have quite a cool and wet summer. There is a transition going on this summer. I'm just going to go back to the mean sea level pressure and scroll up. I want to show you the first map that we can see for the first monthly period. I'm not quite sure if this is going to work. Let's just scroll out. I haven't been planning to do this actually, so let's see if we can get this to low. We may not be able to. Actually, I'll refresh the page and see if we can get anything doing then. Right, so we're going to have a look at the mean sea level pressure. Not sure what that's doing either. Right, let's have a look at the mean sea level pressure. And this is what I wanted to show you. This is for April, May and June. So this is covering late spring and early summer. And you can see what's happening with this one for the start of the summer is that we have a lot of above average heights here, close to the UK. So we've got this orange area just here, and we've got the green colours up to the north. So the jet stream's going to the north. I'm doing something like that. So this is a good deal more settled for the late spring and early summer period. But then there's a deterioration taking place. So if we go through to the next chart, this is for May, June and July. Look at that. That area of above average pressure is weakening to the southwest as these below average pressures start to move south down into the country through May to July. And then let's just recap on what the sea level pressure is for the final 3 monthly period, June, July and August. And that one really is very unsettled then, with that deep trough of low pressure, a big area of low pressure around much of northern and western Europe. So there's a clear pattern there of a deterioration throughout the next few months. We start off not too bad in the early summer, late spring, early summer period, and then it goes rapidly downhill as we get through into the middle and latter stages of the summer. So we finish up as the actual anomaly for June to August with that very unsettled looking chart. But bear in mind the early summer in June particularly probably isn't too bad. I mean, it rapidly goes downhill for July and August. It's a very mixed bag this month, as you'd expect, because this is still a long way off. This is the first update. We've got another update to do in April, and then the final update and forecast in May. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. That's been a very long day. We'll do the final update and forecast in May. So we're quite a way away from this, and you usually find that the first update tends to have a lot of intra-model variation, with the models struggling to gain the pattern. As we go on for the next couple of updates, we should firm up on an idea whether it will be the warmer, drier models that we see increasing, or whether many models will revert to this colder, wetter pattern. We'll see over the next couple of months. But for this first update, it's a mixed bag. Many of the models actually that we've looked at until these last few, many of the models are going for quite a good summer, hinting at a fair amount of dry weather. But there was a deterioration in the final few models that we used. So really it's about a 60-40 split, I think, between models that are going good, that's in the 60% for a good summer, and probably 40% going for a poor summer. But the ones that are going for a poor summer, UK Met, Beijing Climate Centre, they're at the better end of, well, I think we're at the better end of the longer range models anyway. So we'll see what the second update has in store for us in August. Don't forget to enter the prize draw if you haven't done so yet. The winner is going to be announced on the competitions page at 7 o'clock this evening. Competition closes at 5, winner announced at 7. Tomorrow we've got a historic video, Bank Holiday Monday, looking at the very cold March of 1883. We go back to the Victorian era for that one. Right, that's all for now. Thanks for watching.